The boys pushed Mama Mumbai down gently, thinking it was all a joke, but the moment her frail body touched the ground, everything changed. The air, thick and humid just moments before, became cold, unnaturally cold. The boys, who had been laughing, suddenly stopped. Their laughter died on their lips, replaced by an uneasy silence. Mama Mumbai sat there, clutching the bowl of porridge in her trembling hands. Her eyes were wide, and tears ran down her wrinkled cheeks. She whispered something under her breath, but no one could hear her. The boys, feeling the chill that had settled over them, started to step back, realizing that maybe, just maybe, they had made a terrible mistake. And then, it happened. The ground beneath Mama Mumbai began to tremble, just slightly at first, like the earth itself was waking up. The boys stood frozen, eyes wide, as small cracks formed in the dry soil, slowly spreading toward the edges of the forest. The wind picked up, howling through the trees, and the leaves rustled like they were whispering something dark. Suddenly, from the shadows of the trees, they came. The boys didn't see them at first, but I did. I was hiding behind a nearby tree, watching everything unfold. I had been too curious, following them without being seen, wondering what would happen. I wish I hadn't. They were figures, shadows of something not human. Their forms flickered like smoke, shifting and moving, but I could see their eyes, deep, hollow eyes that glowed faintly in the fading light. There were at least 3 of them, emerging from the forest like they had been waiting for this moment, waiting for Mama Mumbai to finally break the curse. One of the boys, Kwame, noticed them first. He screamed, a loud, panicked sound that echoed through the village. He turned to run, but his feet wouldn't move. It was as if the earth itself had trapped him in place, refusing to let him go. The figures moved closer, surrounding Mama Mumbai. She was still sitting, her face pale and her eyes wide with terror. I could see her lips moving, muttering something, prayers, maybe, or a plea for forgiveness. But it was too late. The spirits were here, and they weren't here for mercy. One of the shadowy figures reached out with an arm that seemed to stretch unnaturally long. Its fingers were thin, almost skeletal, as they touched the top of Mama Mumbai's head. She gasped, her body convulsing as the shadow's hand passed over her, and in that moment, I swear I saw her age even more. Her hair turned completely white, her skin sagging like she was withering before our eyes. The boys, terrified, tried to scream for help, but the wind swallowed their voices. They could only watch in horror as the shadows closed in around her. And then, one by one, the boys began to fall. First, Kwame. His legs buckled beneath him, and he collapsed to the ground, his eyes wide with fear. Then Tond, another boy, tried to pull Kwame up, but the moment he touched him, Tond fell too. It was like the life had been drained from them. They weren't dead, but they were empty. Their bodies were there, but their eyes, those eyes, looked like they had seen something far worse than death. I wanted to run, but my legs were rooted to the spot. I couldn't move, couldn't even breathe. The shadows turned toward me, and for a moment, I thought they had seen me. I thought they were coming for me next. But then, one of them leaned down to whisper something into Mama Mumbai's ear, and just as quickly as they had appeared, they vanished back into the forest, swallowed by the darkness. The wind stopped. The trembling ground went still. But the silence that followed was even more terrifying. It was the silence of something ancient, something that had been waiting, and was now satisfied. Mama Mumbai slowly rose to her feet, her body shaking, but somehow still alive. She didn't look at the boys lying on the ground. She didn't even glance in my direction. She just turned and walked back toward her hut, her steps slow and heavy, as if the weight of the curse had grown too much for her to bear. I wanted to scream, to run to the village and tell everyone what had happened, but I couldn't. My voice was gone, my legs felt like they were made of stone. It wasn't until hours later, when the villagers found Kwame and the others lying in the dirt, that I was finally able to move. They asked me what had happened. But I couldn't tell them the full truth. No one would believe me. I told them the boys had played a prank on Mama Mumbai, and she had left in anger. But I never mentioned the shadows. I never mentioned what I had seen. The next day, Mama Mumbai was gone. No one ever saw her again. Her hut was empty, the door swinging open as if she had left in a hurry. Some say she went deeper into the forest, where the spirits would keep her company forever. Others say she finally found peace, though I doubt it. As for the boys, they never spoke of that night again. They were changed, quiet, withdrawn, their eyes always staring off into the distance. It was like something had been taken from them, something they could never get back. And me. I never went near the edge of the forest again. I never dared to follow anyone like that, not after what I saw. The curse was real, and it was waiting for anyone foolish enough to challenge it. Please subscribe to my channel for more interesting folktales. Thank you.